Welcome to the Social Show. My name is Vikyolwana, and as you know, this is the one-stop shop for all things CSI and all things CSR. And if you are a little bit disoriented as to what you're listening to, you have to know that we are in the name of good work and good initiatives by corporates. But we also want to make sure that we are not cheated and the communities are served in the very best way possible. That is our point. The point is to make sure that communities are always kept up to speed as to what is going on in their own spaces, what they can do to improve their lives, how they can reach out to more corporates to get involved with them. That's what we do on the show. Also, if you want to know a little bit more about what we do, don't forget to go to www.social-tv.co.za and you will find exactly what it is that we do. Also, if you have a story that could help somebody, that could help a friend, that could help somebody who wants to get into a specific business, who wants to start their own business. If you want to talk to people who are or get involved with disadvantaged girls, children. It was just Children's Day the other day. Please don't forget also that you can email me on press@social-tv.co.za and just let me know that you heard from Brand Live that you could get some help. Anyway, we're going to start off the day with the news because that's what we do on The Social Show. A charity that specializes in rescuing and rehabilitating bulldogs and associated breeds, Bulldog Rescue Angels, will host its first golf day to raise some much-needed funds for their voluntary work. Chantal van der Merwe, one of the volunteers and co-founders of BRA, said that it's been almost a year since the organization was established, and to date, they have rescued, rehabilitated, and rehomed a number of dogs already. All the hard work and long hours make everything we do so rewarding, said Chantal, and we really want to give a voice to these beautiful animals, and we are absolutely grateful for everyone who wants to get involved. The golf day has been in the pipeline for a few months now, and they are absolutely excited to present this fundraising event to the public, and they urge everyone to participate. In other news, to celebrate World Play Day and highlight initiatives to give children and caregivers tools to transform everyday moments into playful learning experiences, Sesame Workshop and the Lego Foundation teamed up with Africa Tikkun, which saw Takalani Sesame Muppets, Kami and Neno welcome children and families to Africa Tikkun at Orange Farm for the day for a meaningful play activities day designed for the whole family to enjoy together. Sesame Workshop and the Lego Foundation share a commitment to helping children become creative, lifelong learners, combining the Lego Foundation's expertise in learning through play with Sesame's proven content development model. Their partnership brings opportunities for play-based learning to both children and caregivers in South Africa through the Play Every Day and Play Well and Be Happy initiatives. And lastly, in our news, Heart FM shuts down broadcast studio for 16 days to undertake youth-focused projects. Heart FM will once again take the microphone to the heart of Western Cape communities for the 16 Days of Youth initiative from the 1st of June 2017. The radio station will undertake youth-focused projects across the length and breadth of the province by broadcasting in its mobile studio for the first 16 days of June 2017. The initiative identifies projects in communities whereby the teams are able to bring people together to effect change. Last year, the journey encountered Magda Meyer in Paarl from Magda's Soup Kitchen. The Soup Kitchen fed over 2,000 mouths per month, and through Heart FM and its partners, Magda is now able to feed more than 20,000 people per month. This is affecting change in the community. This year, the journey kicks off in Horston and will travel to Grabo, Kenilworth, Heidfeld, Robertson, Worcester, Tugberg, Malmesbury, Constantia, to name a few. The aim is therefore to add emphasis on the challenges and sociology of each town while physically making a difference through our hands-on project, said Heart FM MD Renee Rille. And that concludes our news for the day.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
So a few days ago, I went to the very first launch of the T20 Cricket League, and the name of the T20 Cricket League is the Global League. And they were speaking, and the president of Cricket SA was there, as well as the CEO of Cricket SA. In fact, I think Cricket Elite was there, and you will definitely see the video on social TV. Do not even worry about missing out. But it was a really great affair. But what I really loved out of the conversations that were held and also the speeches that were given is that the T20 Global League is going to be on home soil. And this is amazing because it's going to include international and local players. It's about 8 teams that are going to be playing, I think, closer to the fourth quarter of this year. And you find that it's going to really boost, obviously, tourism in South Africa. It's going to boost the number of people who have access to South Africa from abroad. It's going to boost South Africans going abroad. It's just going to be a really great middle sort of way between international players and local players. And I think that's a great opportunity. Another thing that the president said, I think his name is Chris Denzani, he said, the main focus of the Global League, as much as it was about getting a great new logo and new branding and a new name, it was really about getting more younger players involved, and that's their main focus. They're going to be getting younger guys involved in these games so that they can rub shoulders with a few of the people in international league and also on a local level. You're going to find really young, gifted players starting to really understand the global footprint of cricket and how they can get involved. And I think this is amazing because it's been quite a great progression as to how many young people are getting involved with cricket. It's no longer like these really old jocks playing. It's really, you find that it's got a really youthful element to it, and that's important because that's the future, right? We're grooming South African leaders in cricket, but also we're making sure that young people don't feel neglected and feel unincluded in the greater spectrum of cricket. Cricket is huge. Cricket is a big sport in South Africa and in the rest of the world. So I think it's going to be great. And I was so excited when they said it was going to be a South African thing where, people come to us instead of us going away. It is on our soil. It's going to be going around, the major iconic cities of South Africa. It's going to be at almost every corner of South Africa. There'll be a game. I'm really excited to actually just see it all unfold and actually be a part of it and just see how they actually amalgamate younger players. And that just, sparked a really great thought in my mind as to how athletes and how that opportunity can really give rise to a new era of giving and donating, and young people starting to see that they're getting wealth at a younger age, but they also need to be I think they need to be told, or rather just given an example by the people that they look up to as to how they can also reach their own communities. In fact, I actually think that more athletes give to charity than celebrities. Also, it's a fine line because some athletes are celebrities, but I mean by celebrities, I mean people in entertainment spaces. I think athletes are a little bit more giving. I think athletes are they kind of understand the intricacies of where they come from a little bit more. Then there's not much of a I don't know. There's not much of a sort of a gimmick with them. I feel like with a lot of the entertainment people, the singers and the actors, it's a bit of a gimmicky sort of trying to see people at a charity event, where I think with a lot of the athletes that I've encountered and the athletes that I know or I've heard about, it's really been about their communities and them really knowing where they came from and really trying to give back. I could be wrong. If you think I'm wrong, please don't be afraid to go to View for real and just, let me know on Twitter. Tell me know. Do you think I don't know. Do you think entertainment celebrities are more charitable, or do you think sport celebrities are more charitable? It's not a bad competition, right? The more charitable you are, the better. But also be close to your cause, understand it, be about it, and don't just do it for the press. Everything is for the press nowadays. But so on that same breath, I'm just going to give you a few people who I think have been pretty charitable as athletes in 2017. In their lifespan, as well as in the kinds of charities and the kinds of donations that they make and the kinds of volunteering that they do. I also think like skills like cricket, skills like soccer, skills like basketball, or whatever the case may be, are so much more easier to transfer than singing lessons, for instance, or acting lessons. And maybe that's why I think athletes are much more giving, because I think they do have programs that are a little bit more effective, because they can teach kids basic rules, they can mentor quickly, they can do that kind of thing. I don't see a lot of mentoring in the entertainment space. So, but anyway, you can let me know. What do you think? Do you actually think entertainment stars give more, or do you think sports stars give more and are more embedded within their active giving, right? So we all know that it's the dreams of millions around the world to actually one day become a star athlete. But this is a dream that only a tiny percentage get to live. Unfortunately, not all of us can be athletes. But these stars get to play the sport that they love each day. They earn gigantic sums of money through their salaries and their endorsements. And this enables them to lead a lavish lifestyle. But most athletes actually, as I've said, I think really recognize how fortunate they are. And they really do make a point of giving back. In fact, according to DoSomething.org, I'm about to tell you a few of the most charitable athletes in the world right now, all of whom have helped to improve the world around them. So I got this list on DoSomething.org. If you think I didn't include somebody, or I didn't reference anybody, let me know. If you think somebody, I know a lot of people have their own personal favorite athletes that have given back, and they have their own personal stories as to how that has affected their lives. So please don't forget to let me know on View It For Real or on Social One TV on our Twitter page, and we can have this conversation. Anyway, we're going to start off with a man by the name of Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman is actually famous for his trash talking and a little bit of his arrogance, as well as being perhaps the best in his position, But however, this arrogance makes him a much hated figure by many NFL fans. Now, these are fans obviously in the States, or actually around the world. Although on the field, he may not seem like the nicest guy, guys. I know he doesn't seem. I know that name, when people think of Richard Sherman, they cringe, because he's like the AKA of the NFL. He is actually very, very aware of the world around him, and uses his fame and fortune to do good in the world. The Super Bowl champ has set up a family foundation called a Blanket Coverage to help students reach their potential. This provides students in low-income communities with clothing and school supplies to help them all achieve their goals. And Sherman decided to set this foundation thanks to an inspirational speech from Magic Johnson when he was a student himself. So just remember, next time when you are listening to somebody who comes to your school, or an athlete, whether it's an athlete, it's a CEO, whatever the case may be, remember how important it is that you listen and you sit down, because those kinds of messages can translate later in your life. I mean, Richard Sherman is giving back because of Magic Johnson. And that's another thing that I love about a lot of athletes, is that it really is a very motivational space to be in, because when you're an athlete, you have to do your best all the time. You have to be fit and you have to be focused. It's discipline. It's got so many amazing traits that you can learn. And on top of that, if you can be a good mentor to students, I think it's even 100% amazing. And I think I see a lot of it. I see a lot of athletes going to schools. I've seen a lot of times where, our own athletes, Wade van Niekerk and Caster Semenya, have been to schools to say, you know what, no matter what it is that you are going through, if I can make it, so can you. And I made it just because I was I practiced all day. I was disciplined. I knew what I wanted to do. I researched. I was focused. And those things you don't have to go to school to learn. Those are things that you can just watch and aspire to be like when you see them, because you then know that that's their strategy. And I think that's important to know. So Richard Sherman does make the list. Another one who made the list, who I thought was so amazing, is Monet Davis. Now, Monet Davis is like a 14-year-old girl, and who took the world basically by storm by appearing in the 2014 Little League World Series, as she became the first girl to win pitch at a shutout in series history. She's only the 18th girl to play, the 6th to get a hit, and the first African American girl to play. Hashtag Black excellence, actually. Additionally, she is the first Little League player to appear on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and because of this, she has had a gigantic impact on the sports world. It's not just the sporting world she has an impact on. However, she's using her fame to help other girls have a better chance at a future. This is through designing her own line of sneakers, with the proceeds going to the Because I Am a Girl project, with goals to help 4 million girls in developing world out of poverty. Love, love, love Monet. Love it because, one, she's 14, but she understands the intricacies of those who don't have. And so many times we think, oh, you're young, so it's okay for you not to be vigilant, to be aware of the kind of work that you could do to help communities. And this sort of translates to also a lot of young people who are lazy and naive. I think there's so much you could be doing in your own 2 cents. You don't have to be opening or a line of sneakers. Clearly, I mean, we all can't just have a line of sneakers, but there's definitely something that you could do differently, that you could say differently, that you could give your time differently, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It can be, in your own community, helping 4 or 5 people. In fact, the other day, I was so surprised. Here in Melville, as I was driving home, on my way home, I saw this really young girl. I'm sure she's about 20 years old. I can't be older than that. And she was by herself, okay? And she was standing by the robot, by the traffic lights, and she was praying for a homeless man. Now, the time was about, I think maybe 8 o'clock. Yes, it was about 8 o'clock in the evening. And she was there for I think for a long time. In fact, we went around to just see if she was safe, because obviously you don't want a girl just standing in the middle of nowhere. But she stood there and prayed and prayed and prayed. And I thought, that's one way of doing something really great, and really helping somebody else. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to give. But what you could do is give some sort of access to information, to opportunity, to help, to say, you know what, this is what our church does, and this is what we can do for you. This is what our organization does. This is what we can do for you. This is what I do for a living. I'm a lawyer, but how can I get in touch with you so I can help you maintain your rights and live long and go back to your family? There's so many skills that we acquire from school, from friends, from family, from just living, that we can transfer to someone in need. And I think you need to start thinking a little bit more innovatively as to how you can give. I love Monet Davis, and I think this is Black excellence in its best, and it's youth excellence, to say, she's 14, but she knows exactly what it is that she needs to do. That's her mission, is to help 4 million girls in developing world get out of poverty. So I really love that one. Another one who is really, really amazing and is a woman, which I like, is the world number 2, Maria Sharapova. And she's obviously one of the most famous females athletes of all time, and she is also one of the best paid female athletes, helping her, she's also a model, so she has a modeling career and many other endorsements. So she's very smart in the way that she sort of branded herself. But she's also very incredibly charitable and uses her profile and fortune to help those less fortunate in a number of different ways. She has supported 10 different charities and has a huge range of variety of causes, including poverty, women, and AIDS. And this year she volunteered with a variety of children's charity and Soul for Shoes. And previously she has donated over 50,000 to those affected by the Belson, school hostage crisis, and she has been appointed the Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations Development Program. I think, you know what, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do. You could be an entertainment artist, celebrity, you could be an athlete, you could be in any other, sphere, making a lot of money. I really do think that when you do start making money, the honesty of the kind of person you are and how you see the world and how you want to give and how you want to give back and how many people want to help will come out. I know there's a lot of people who do it just for, good PR, but I really do think that when you look at somebody and you see the kind of causes that they do and the intricate way in which they thought about it and the way in which they knew it was a big loop or a big gap they needed to fill, that's when you really see the heart of a person. And I think that's the most important thing, because I think if you've been through some sort of lack in your life, you know that 5 million more people are going to go through the same thing. And how can you shorten or make that lack a little bit less daunting than it was when you were trying to make it? And that's, I think, at the heart of a lot of these athletes who are giving away their time and their money and their volunteerism and their thoughts and their expertise to younger people, to people who are disadvantaged, to women, to people going through different diseases, to just every single thing that they do is an amalgamation of the experiences that they've been through. And that's when you know somebody really understands what charity is and what donation is and what giving means and what social investment means and what social responsibility means. It means I am responsible for the next person not going through the same things I went through. I'm responsible for making a better world. I'm responsible for making sure our environment is clean and safe for our children to breathe good air. I'm responsible for the kind of water I use, how I use my water, so that people after me are able to survive. So I think there's people who think like that and there's people who don't. And athletes have definitely made their mark. And I'm so excited about the T Global League that's coming up, the T20 South African Global League, because it's going to allow more athletes to gain money and also allow them to give it back, because that's what it's about. It's about, let's first get you where you need to be so that when you are there, you can come back and get more young people involved, and you can come back and make sure that your country thrives and your country is looked at in a way that you want it to be looked at, in a way that you know it to be a world-class, top-class country that has amazing athletes that give back, that has an amazing mantra of doing their best to invest back into communities. And that concludes my show for today. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back on Monday at the same time, 9:30 to 10, with a guest, with a topic, whatever the case may be. You don't want to miss out. Thank you for listening.
Live from 27 Boxes in the heart of Melville, this is brandlive.co.za.